Dr. Kirk.
A popular Pittsburgh cafe closes its doors once again. I'm Kenny Foreman, and I'll have more on that coming up.
The new legislative session has kicked off in Missouri with many new proposals up for debate. And book lovers swap stories at the Joplin Public Library this weekend.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News. I'm Blake Gully. For the second time in the last year, Harry's Cafe in Pittsburgh has closed down. KOAM's Kenny Foreman spoke with the now former manager of the cafe about why the establishment has reached this decision.
As much as she loved her job, killer Chandra Nichols could tell things were trending in the opposite direction.
There is a lot of door dashing. There's a lot of eating at home. We've seen an increase in local activity being out at all these local businesses, but it has dropped down from what it was years ago.
This marks the second time the cafe has closed. The first time came in January 2025 before relatives and community members pitched in to reopen it 2 months later. This time around, however, it's a little more uncertain.
We didn't have that backing with us anymore, and unfortunately we were hindered by too many back issues that were owed by everyone. So like I said, a sinking ship with a bunch of holes can't always be repaired.
Although its surrounding businesses have thrived, competition never seemed to be an issue.
We are real big here in this area about businesses supporting businesses, and where one of us may need help, one of the other of us will step in and help each other out. It's all about creating a bigger and a better community in our local area.
Nichols says that the close-knit nature of the cafe is something that's hard to replicate.
I experienced 3 of the best years of my life in this place. It was one of the hardest things I ever had to do, but it was one of the biggest shows of community I've ever seen in this place. It is not a typical place.
In Pittsburgh, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
At this time, the owners have not committed on where the future of the cafe will go. Missouri lawmakers are back in Jefferson as the new legislative session kicks off. One of the biggest proposals on the table this year has garnered support from the governor, Mike Kehoe, a plan to eventually eliminate Missouri's state income tax. KOAM's Nellie Lopez has the details on how lawmakers are taking up this issue.
This week, Missouri kicked off 2026 legislative session. In December, nearly 700 pre-filed proposals were submitted that will now come before the chambers. The governor of the state of Missouri, Mike Kehoe, made a statement about what he hopes to accomplish this year. We look forward to working with the General Assembly this year to advance our budgetary and legislative priorities, including our efforts to responsibly eliminate state income tax. Senator Mary Elizabeth Coleman sponsors Senate Bill 1240. Stating current law imposes an income tax on all Missouri taxable income for all the tax years beginning on or after January 1st, 2027. This eliminates the Missouri individual income tax. Senator Jill Carter has sponsored a series of proposals, including Senate Bill 1242, which establishes the Missouri Crime Victims Fund. The Victims of Crime Act of 1984 was passed to assist states in providing high-quality services to those directly related to emotional healing and recovery of abuse. Senator Carter says federal funding for this program has been waning greatly over recent years. This bill will create a state-run program affirming Missouri's support for these victims. We will work to assure the federal bureaucracy doesn't stand in the way of helping victims of these horrible crimes. The Senate will reconvene on Monday, January 12th. As Missouri begins to debut the pre-filed proposals, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas are gearing up for their legislative sessions that'll take place later this winter. In Joplin, Nellie Lopez, KOAM News.
This comes days before the governor of Missouri is set to give his State of the State address, outlining his legislative and budgetary priorities this coming Tuesday. Now, meteorologist Donald O'Keefe joins us with the first look at weather.
Well, despite it being a bit sunny out there, temperatures have definitely felt a bit cool for the end of our end of the weekend. We got up to 42 degrees today. The average about 44, so we're just a little bit above or a little bit below average for this time of year. But if you're planning your evening, getting down to 31 degrees, mostly clear conditions. On the colder side, winds out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour. But as we get into tonight and tomorrow morning, we're going to see clear conditions. By Monday morning, some increasing cloud cover. There's those temperatures in the low 30s. That sun's going to start popping out Monday Sunday afternoon. Now we're going to see temperatures in the mid to upper 50s for our Monday. So a great start to our work week. So we're going to have mild temperatures to start our work week. The 40s are going to return by Wednesday, and then we're also watching for some snow chances for later next week as well, even though it's been on the warmer side. But we definitely need some possible snow because it is January. Those details coming up.
Book lovers gathered at the Joplin Public Library this weekend for the much anticipated book swap. Community members brought in books they finished and left with something new, whether it was a new title or an entire stack. Attendees enjoyed sharing their favorite reads, discovering new stories, and connecting with fellow book lovers.
My favorite part is just seeing what people bring in and what they end up taking with them, and just like readers from the community coming together, exchanging books, chatting about books. It's really exciting.
And for teens, a youth-adult book swap is coming at the end of January. Still ahead on KOAM News, in Oklahoma, doctors say she has weeks to live, but her strength is inspiring everyone around her. A single mother from Oklahoma is planning her own funeral. After doctors gave her just weeks to live, she set up a GoFundMe to raise money for her own final expenses and to provide for her children. Jade Morrow has the story.
I can't, it's not like something on her knee, like she's fallen on her knee and I can just put a Band-Aid on it. I can't do it. I can't fix this. I have to let her fight this herself. And I can't take it away from her. And it doesn't, it's hard. It's hard every day to have to sit and watch her go through that.
28-year-old Kaylin Goff was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer 3 years ago and has been fighting for normalcy ever since.
She still went, she still did her hair, her makeup, her nails, and everything. You would not even have known. Never felt sorry for herself or anything through the whole thing. She just went on and did it.
But just 2 weeks before Christmas, all of that changed for Kaylin when the cancer spread to her brain and bones.
There's just nothing they can do for her. It's spread that much. They've already done 5 different cycles of chemotherapy on her. There's no more because her body can't handle it, because of the congestive heart failure and things like that.
Kaylin was told she has 6 weeks to live. Only 6 weeks left with her family and her 2 children.
It's a hard thing, especially here we are. You never think you'll end up at this spot, right, like where we are, and she never thought she would either. We thought we'd beat it. And now we're planning a funeral, and it's just heartbreaking.
Kaylin has issued a GoFundMe that will go towards her own funeral expenses and her 2 young children, something her mother, Myra, said shows the type of person Kaylin is.
She still wants to be able to look out for them and try to plan for their future, and I thought that it was nice that she actually did that.
From the beginning of Kaylin's fight until now, her mother says her faith has played a huge part in her perseverance, something that has inspired her and her family.
If she doesn't complain for what she's going through, what do we got to complain, Yep, absolutely. She inspires us all to do that, especially me. She's my little hero is what she is.
As of tonight, donations continue to pour in as the community rallies to help the family reach their goal. A new drought monitor shows conditions worsening across Missouri and Arkansas. The latest data shows more areas shifting into moderate and severe drought, including parts of the Ozarks. Nick Callie breaks down what this means for the community.
Last time KY3 spoke with farmer Jason Waka in Christian County, he was waiting for spring and summer rain to let up so he could get his crops planted. While he got a good yield of corn last season, a returning drought has been a mixed blessing for him. On one hand, he's keeping things going with plenty of alfalfa and hay to sell. However,
where we usually cut this crop 4 or 5 times, a lot of it only got 3 cuttings this year. And some of these cuttings we attempted on a 4th cutting, there wasn't even anything there to speak of as far as harvesting.
That meant going to other places across Missouri and Kansas to get additional hay to sell. Now, he's already thinking ahead to the next growing season.
We're going to be planting crops here in 2 to 3 months, and if we don't have some moisture for that, that's going to be a slow start for the year.
Foundation repair businesses stay busy with calls, especially after the rain dried up.
We have a lot of clay soils in our ground, so when it gets real wet, the clay swells, and then when it gets real dry, it shrinks. And so now everything starts to sink into the ground. So you see just a lot of foundation movement happening.
SMAS wants homeowners to keep watch for cracks in their foundation or if doors and windows don't work properly. Those can point to repairs that can be best resolved sooner rather than later.
The problem will domino and get worse if you just keep letting it go. So at the worst case, make the call to go, hey, let's see what's happening. Sometimes the repairs are super simple and we can stop the problem right away.
Donald is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later we'll have the latest from a rally calling for change in Portland, Oregon.
That was a bit of a cool end to our weekend, but the warm-up is coming for us by tomorrow. Let's take a look ahead right now. We're going to see a mild start to the week. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-50s and even or low 60s by Tuesday, but the highs in the 40s will return by Wednesday, and they're also watching for some possible snow chances later next week as well. So let's get into it right now. So today our high was 42 degrees. Our average is 44, so just a little bit below our average for this time of year. For tonight, we're going to see temperatures drop down to 31 degrees, mostly clear. Like I said, about a little cold out there. Winds out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Let's take a look at our future track for tonight into tomorrow morning. So we're going to see clear skies as we get into Monday morning, some increasing cloud cover, but there's those temperatures around 7 a.m. in the low 30s. Then by Monday afternoon, the sun starts to come out. Winds out of the southwest are going to be warming things up. Now we're seeing the highs in the mid to upper 50s for our Monday afternoon. Getting into Monday night and Tuesday morning, we're going to see temperatures by it's Tuesday morning, 7 a.m. into the upper 30s, and then by Tuesday afternoon, now we're going to see temperatures get into the low 60s. So a great start to our work week. So if you're planning your day for tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, high of 57 degrees for our Monday, and then for tomorrow night, getting down to only 42 degrees, mostly clear. That's above average for this time of year. That's almost 20 degrees above average for the overnight low. Taking a look at downtown Joplin right now, nice clear night. Like I said, on the colder side, but not too bad. So we've been talking about how dry it's been. We can see most of the drought tracker has anywhere to moderate drought conditions, even severe out there to the east and also down there by Grove. We are definitely in need of rain, but maybe there is some hope in the future. Let's take a look at our upper level flow. This is Monday. So we have a bit of a weak high pressure system down there in the Gulf that's kind of bringing in that warmer air to our area. And we're going to see, like I said, temperatures into the 50s and 60s Monday and Tuesday. But the change is coming. Here's Wednesday. By Wednesday morning, we're going to be interacting with a low pressure system that could possibly bring some rain to our area early Wednesday morning. That'll push out pretty quickly though, but behind it, we're going to see colder air, and then here comes those snow chances by Friday that I was talking about. So we're going to keep an eye out on that over the next couple of days to see if that rain is there Wednesday and also that snow on Friday. Let's take a closer look. Monday, temperatures in the mid-50s. Into Tuesday, now we're seeing temperatures into the low 60s, so a great start to the work week. There's that rain I was talking about late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. By Wednesday afternoon, that should start to push out, but temperatures will be back into the 40s by Wednesday. Getting into Thursday morning, now we're going to see temperatures in the upper teens. Not too much better Thursday afternoon. Temperatures are now into the 30s and even low 40s. And then there's those snow chances I was talking about Friday that could possibly maybe bring in some accumulation. It's going to be pretty nice for the overnight lows for the next couple of days, but you can see by Wednesday, now we're back into the upper teens overnight. Taking a look at our 7-day here. Here's that nice warm up, 56 on Monday, 61 on Tuesday, then cooling off behind it Wednesday, dropping back into the mid 40s, and then we can possibly see snow flurries by Friday, and then back into the upper 30s by this weekend.
Wait, you said teens?
Yes.
The winter is here.
winter wants to show its face because it is January.
And I guess we have to live with that. Thanks, Donald.
That's right.
Coming up, a Waymo ride turns terrifying as the automobile car ends up on a light rail tracks, forcing the passenger to bail as the train approaches. This weekend is a time to celebrate the beverage that goes best with cookies. Today is National Milk Day. It celebrates the day milk was delivered in glass bottles for the first time. As the story goes, Alexander Campbell of the New York Dairy Company told the New York State Senate that his company was the first to do this back in 1878. During the Middle Ages, people called milk the virtuous white liquor. That's something. In 1863, French chemist and biologist Louis Pasteur invented pasteurization that made it possible to store milk for extended periods. Another fun fact, the U.S., along with Australia, exports more milk and milk products than any other country. As for the health benefits, milk delivers calcium, potassium, along with vitamins B12 and A. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Later, calls grow for an independent investigation into a recent shooting after a rally in downtown Portland.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
A rally drew a crowd in downtown Portland, Oregon Saturday night, where organizers raised concerns about the recent federal law enforcement actions. Several elected officials attended, calling for an independent investigation into the recent shooting in East Portland. We have more from Portland.
No more waiting, please take action. No more waiting, please take action.
Harry Strunk Plaza in downtown Portland, crowded Saturday night, honoring the victims and survivors of ICE and Border Patrol violence.
My people, we are ready.
The event starting out in song, community members then reading out victim impact statements of Portlanders who have directly been impacted by the recent actions of federal officers.
Our mission is to tear down the legal barriers that prevent our neighbors from participating fully in our community.
Among those in attendance, City Councilor Candace Avalos, Congresswoman Maxine Dexter, and State Senator Con Pham.
I am tired of watching people get hurt while those in power evade accountability.
It's important as an East Portland councilor, after everything we've been through in the last 48 hours, to be present, to offer my words, but also to offer opportunities for action.
Local representatives now calling for an independent investigation into Thursday's shooting in East Portland. The Oregon Department of Justice has announced it will look into the shooting, despite the FBI leading the investigation.
I think everybody deserves due process before we jump to allegations that are often rooted in racist misconceptions.
Audience members and event organizers echoing the demand for impartial answers.
We want a local investigation here into what happened in the shootings. We stand with communities across the United States who are facing similar threats.
Rounding out the evening, the passing of a flame, a signal of unity.
Guard our feet and guide our hearts on.
President Trump is warning Cuba to make a deal about Venezuelan oil. On social media Sunday morning, Trump said that no more oil or money would be going to Cuba. However, he urged Cuban officials to make a deal, quote, before it's too late. Trump also said that security services that Cuba provided for Venezuela would be ending. Cuba's president rebuffed Trump's demand for a deal, saying the island is an independent and sovereign nation that won't be bossed around. Protesters hit the streets again in Chicago, demanding ICE be held accountable after the deadly shooting of Minneapolis mother Renee Good. Hundreds turned out in the cold for the ICE Out for Good rally. Here's the latest from Evelyn Holmes.
Defund ICE! Defund ICE!
Protests against immigration and customs enforcement continue today as a part of an ICE Out for Good weekend of action following the death of Minneapolis mother of 3, Renee Good.
I know we're all out here now, but there should be more people. Somebody got killed by our government. And that's, I'm old enough to remember Kent State, and I think that was our Kent State moment.
Close to 100 people ignored the cold and winter weather to line a portion of Roosevelt Road for the midday rally in West Suburban Forest Park.
To see Trump warning the Iranian government not to shoot peaceful protesters, yet his own agents are doing that here in America, that's just beyond appalling.
The Saturday morning demonstration was organized by the anti-postal service privatization group, the People's Post Alliance Indivisible, as a part of the National Day of Protest against ICE.
It's our country, our democracy, and we have to be out here to defend it and fight for it.
The Department of Homeland Security alleges that Good was trying to use her car as a weapon. Those accounts disputed by others.
It's just not about immigrants anymore, undocumented people. It's about everybody right now.
This woman dressed in a penguin costume and donned a sign about democracy to make a point.
This is just so frustrating, what is happening, and it's fascism, honestly. We shouldn't have to live with this. People shouldn't have to live in fear.
A coalition of groups held similar demonstrations in Chicago and other suburbs like South Elgin and North Chicago.
I want, when we look back, I want to be a person that tried to do something, at least stick with others and boost our spirits.
Organizers say their efforts will not stop here. They say it's important for the community to continue to fight back against what they call the climate of fear, lawlessness, and cruelty created by ICE.
Later, neighbors in a St. Louis neighborhood went bananas after finding out their monkeys were on the loose, and animal control is on the job.
It was a bit of a cool end to our weekend, but the warm-up is coming on Monday. Let's take a look ahead right now. We're going to see mild temperatures to start our week. Like I said, temperatures are going to be in the mid-50s and even low 60s by Tuesday, but the highs in the 40s will return by Wednesday, and we're also watching for some possible snow chances later next week as well. So let's get into it. So for our high today, we only got up to 42 degrees. The average is 44 degrees, so just a little bit below our average for this time of year. For tonight, dropping down to 31 degrees, mostly clear. It's going to be a bit cold. Winds out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Let's take a look at tonight into tomorrow. So this is our future track. We're having winds out of the southwest. We're going to see temperatures get into the low 30s for Monday morning. We're going to see mostly sunny skies through Monday afternoon. Now we're going to see temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, even possibly close to 60 in the southern counties for our Monday. Getting into Monday night and Tuesday morning, we're going to have a little bit of clouds hovering there around 7 a.m. Tuesday, but now temperatures are going to be in the upper 30s, even low 40s for Tuesday morning. Then we're going to see lower 60s by Tuesday afternoon as that sun's going to be out and shining. So if you're planning your day for tomorrow, mostly sunny skies through the day, getting up to a high of 57 degrees for our Monday. So a great start to our work week. Then by tomorrow night, dropping down to only 42 degrees, mostly clear conditions, above average low for this time of year. We're usually sitting around 25 for an overnight low for January. Taking a look at downtown Joplin right now, nice clear conditions. Like I said, a bit on the cooler side, but not too bad if you want to get out and do a nice late night walk. So we were talking about how dry it's been over the last couple of months. Well, our drought tracker has most of the area in moderate drought, even severe out there to the east and also to the south. We're seeing desperate need for rain or any type of precipitation, but there is hope on the way. Let's take a look at our upper level flow for next week. This is Monday. We have a bit of a weak high pressure system in our area that's going to be bringing in those warmer temperatures for Monday and Tuesday. But then as we get into Wednesday, here's an upper level low out there by the Great Lakes that's bringing in cold Arctic air behind it. But you can see we might even see some rain by Wednesday morning. That's going to push out through Thursday. Colder air comes behind it. Then by Friday, these are that's those snow chances I was talking about. It's still a bit out right now, but we're going to keep an eye out on that as we go over the next couple days to see if this snow does manifest before our area. Then behind that system, just more cold air behind it. January wants to remind us that it is January and it is cold, and we definitely are in need for some snow. So we're going to see those colder temperatures pretty much stick around through next weekend. Let's take a closer look. Mid 50s for Monday. As we get into Tuesday, now we're going to see temperatures into the upper 50s and low 60s. And then there's those rain chances I was talking about late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. We're going to see temperatures drop Wednesday afternoon into the low 40s, upper 30s. Then into Thursday morning, now we're going to see temperatures in the teens for Thursday morning and only warming up to the mid to upper 30s on Thursday. And there's those snow chances I was talking about coming into our area by Friday night, definitely bringing in some colder air behind it. So we're going to see overnight lows in the 40s basically Monday and Tuesday, but there's those temperatures in the upper teens Wednesday through the weekend. So taking a look at our 10-day here, we're going to see 56 on Monday, 61 on Tuesday, dropping back into the 40s on Wednesday, and then possibly snow flurries by Friday.
Okay, I changed my mind. I am ready for the snow because, again, I want to have some snow for the kids to be able to enjoy it. And even though I don't know about driving in it, so
we'll see if we do get any snow by Friday.
Thanks, Donald. Coming up, it's day 2 of the NFL playoffs. And plus, Ben McLeish has the recaps for the AFC and NFC wildcard matchups coming up next in sports.
The NFL playoffs are underway, and if yesterday was any indication, we're in for a wild ride. So strap yourselves in and get ready for another wild day of wild card matchups. Josh Allen and the Bills take on Trevor Lawrence's Jaguars in the first game of the day. We start in the second quarter. Jacksonville in the red zone. Lawrence fires it to Brian Thomas Jr. to give Jacksonville the 7-3 lead. But here come the Bills. Allen dropping back, finding Keon Coleman on the sideline. He slips through a tackle and takes it all the way down inside the 10-yard line. Allen's a little banged up on that throw, but he'll play through it. And a few plays later, he bulldozes his way into the end zone for the Bills' first touchdown of the day. Buffalo retakes the lead. They'd hold on to it until the fourth quarter, where Lawrence, taking his time, zips it to Parker Washington for the touchdown. The Jaguars are back out on top, 17-13. And this fourth quarter was electric as the Bills march right down into the red zone. Allen pump fakes and has Dalton Kincaid for the score and the 20-17 lead. But just a few minutes later, the Jaguars respond. Lawrence on the play action flips it to Travis Etienne. He sheds a tackle and scores for the third lead change of the fourth quarter. But don't count out Josh Allen. He leads the Bills down to the 10-yard line, but needs some help on the tush push. His linemen push him all the way down to the 1-yard line. And a play later, he's into the end zone for the lead. The Jaguars are down to their last hope with just over a minute to play. And on the first play of the drive, Lawrence's throw is picked off. The Buffalo Bills take down the 3-seeded Jaguars 27-24 to advance to the divisional round. Next up, the reigning Super Bowl champion Eagles host the San Francisco 49ers. And on the first drive of the game, Brock Purdy fires down the middle to DeMarcus Robinson. Robinson has the first down and much more, juking defenders and taking it all the way down to the red zone. A few plays later, Purdy connects with Robinson for the touchdown. What a great start for San Fran. But the Eagles march right down to the goal line and cap off the drive with a give to Dallas Goedert. He runs into the end zone to put the Eagles on the board, 7-6 after a missed PAT. Heading to the second quarter, Philly with a huge fourth down in the red zone. Hurts rolls to his right, passes to Goedert for his second touchdown of the day. Eagles take the lead. Fourth quarter, Niners down by 6, but they're going to run some trickeration. The wide receiver, Juwan Jennings, launches downfield for McCaffrey. He hauls it in for the touchdown grab. Niners back on top, but after an Eagles punt, they look to add more. Purdy's pass is intercepted by Quinion Mitchell, and Philadelphia takes the lead on a field goal. Purdy brings the Niners back to the goal line. Third down, scanning the field. He's got McCaffrey in the end zone for the lead in the final 3 minutes. The Eagles need a touchdown to keep their season alive. Fourth down, Hurts has got Goedert for the first down, but the Eagles would get themselves in another fourth down situation, needing 11. Hurts' pass falls incomplete, and the San Francisco 49ers take down the reigning champ Eagles 23-19. Well, the 2026 Kansas Shrine Bowl rosters were announced today, and several local players earn a spot on the East roster. Colgan's Clayton Adamson, Chanute's Brady Alonzo, Parsons' Chandler Henson, Pittsburgh's Damaris Party, and Labette County's Michael Reed all earned spots on the roster, and Labette County's head coach Bradley Argabright also gets a spot on the Shrine Bowl coaching staff after the Grizzlies' incredible season. Well, that's it for sports. We're back with more after this.
A manhunt is underway in St. Louis, Missouri, but officials are not looking for a suspect. Instead, they are searching for several monkeys that are on the loose. It is unknown where the monkeys came from, but Robert Townsend has the report.
St. Louis animal control officers pounding the pavement with their catch poles in hand. But this desperate duo wasn't on the lookout for stray dogs. Their mission, find some monkeys.
I think of danger because that's a wild animal.
Wild animals in Marva Young's North Side neighborhood.
Look at his doggone fingers. Then he got them sharp teeth. He almost looked like them old orangutans.
You might say Thursday afternoon, nervous neighbors and even one police officer went bananas and flooded the phone lines after spotting at least one and possibly four of these monkeys on the loose. Health officials call them vervet monkeys. They have black faces, white eyebrows, and grayish green fur.
We have dogs around here, cats, mice.
And now monkeys?
And now monkeys.
5 on Your Side has learned a man working on Redbud Avenue first saw two of the monkeys. Incredibly, he whipped out his cell phone and snapped clear photos of the unexpected visitors. One was patiently perched on a front porch, another about to carefully cross a curb. And check out this camera-ready primate standing up and seemingly posing for a picture.
That's real crazy.
At this time, we don't know where the animals came from.
Animal control officers spent a lot of time in this North Side neighborhood. They walked through alleys and they even searched all around here at O'Fallon Park, but not one sign of those monkeys. Vervet monkeys' native land is in Africa. A monkey-weary Marva just wants them out of her neighborhood.
Make sure your door's locked because the monkeys are loose.
A sweet smell filled the air today as SEK's favorite homesteader, Kathy Flora, hosted her hands-on cinnamon roll class. Participants spent the afternoon learning how to turn a simple yeast dough into rich old-fashioned iced cinnamon rolls, and each person was able to take home a whole pan. Kathy walked the small group through several dough and icing variations, offering tips and techniques in a relaxed hands-on setting. Class size was limited and the workshop quickly filled up.
I'm passing on things that were taught to me 50 years ago by Grandma. So I love seeing it done the old-fashioned way. Hate to see some of these recipes and methods be lost.
And for those who missed out, Kathy will be back on March 8th with a sourdough English muffin class. Up next, from record-breaking animation to new horror hits, and Avatar is still on top. Your weekend box office winners are coming up. Some new movies challenged the reigning champ at the weekend box office, but did any of them do well enough to nab the crown? David Daniel has the early estimates from the top 5 films in the theaters.
How many fragments do you think are up there?
More than I can count. It's crazy to think something so beautiful can be so deadly.
The apocalyptic sequel Greenland 2 Migration debuted in 5th place with $8.5 million.
Hops and Wild?
Wild and Hops. The dream team.
Zootopia 2 took 4th place with $10.1 million, giving it $379 million domestic and $1.65 billion globally. Disney Animation's highest-grossing movie ever.
I need this job. I can't lose it. I do not want to go back.
The Housemaid landed in 3rd place, earning $11.2 million.
There's something wrong with Ben.
The horror thriller Primate was the top new movie, grossing $11.3 million to debut in 2nd place.
The strength of the ancestors is here.
Avatar Fire and Ash is still strong. The 3rd film in the series topped the chart for a 4th straight weekend, earning $21.3 million for total grosses of $343 million domestic and nearly $1.25 billion worldwide. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us.